also means the state of flowering. Now, if you look at the cover page of your book very well, if you're having the novel, you realize that down there are flowers which are growing down there. We are doing an analysis of the blossoms of Savannah by Okello. And I know that most of you have read that book, so we are analyzing it. The book has got a total of 19 chapters. So I felt like if I summarize all of it, then it will take much time. So there's a method that I came up with. What we'll be doing, we'll be dealing with 4 chapters at a time. So that one will be equivalent if you divide to at least 5 lessons. So I'll be dealing with 4 chapters. I summarize 4 chapters. I talk about everything concerning the 4 chapters. Then next time I analyze another 4 chapters, 8, then the other 4, so there will be a total of 5 so that you can remember. So there are things when you're analyzing any book in literature. Remember, this one is a novel. We have got the novella, the Pearl. We have got the play, The Doll's House. Then also we have got another play, The Inheritance. So when we are analyzing any book, there are things that I'll be considering when I'll be analyzing the blossoms of Savannah. So the first thing I'll be talking about is the author. I'll talk about the author. You can jot them down because I've already explained the method that I use to analyze. I'll be dividing them into 4 chapters. 4, 4, 4. So the first thing that I'll be talking about is the author. Then another thing that we shall be checking, we shall look at the setting, yeah. And you can write there, I'm analyzing the first 4 chapters up to the 4th chapter where there is homecoming. Then, apart from the author and the setting, I will also look at the synopsis. Yeah, that is a short summary. I will also look at the synopsis. But in the second section, I'll be looking at the setting. I will also look at the cover page. So we'll go together and look at the author and look at the setting. And this one applies to all books when you're analyzing, not only blossoms. Even when we'll be analyzing the Pearl, the Inheritance, the Doll's House, this is the methodology. So I'll talk about the author, yeah, who happens to be the writer. I'll talk about the setting of the story. Then I'll talk about the cover page of the first 4 chapters. After I finish the cover page, I'll concentrate on the synopsis of the first 4 chapters, a short summary. Then finally, after we look at the synopsis, I will look at the themes. Themes is very important. Then number 5, another thing that you look at when you're analyzing, you look at character and characterization. I think that one you know. These are the sections. Character and characterization. And then number 6, finally, you look at the features of style. Yeah, features of style. You can also refer to them as the stylistic devices. Yeah, or the literal devices. Literal from the word literature. Some also call it language and style. So this is the way we'll be going, so that in those 4 chapters, we shall be looking at certain things. So I've said these are the sections you look at when you're analyzing any book. You look at the author, who happens to be the writer. We look at the setting. We look at the cover page. If you look at the cover page, there is some picture that is drawn here on top of every book that you're analyzing. We look at the synopsis, but this time around we shall look at the synopsis. Not as a short summary of the first 4 chapters. We look at the themes, character and characterization, then finally features of style. So those we shall be concentrating on the blossoms of Savannah. The blossoms of Savannah. It is a novel. Differentiate between a novel and a novella. Novella is a short novel. So the Pearl is not a novel, the Pearl is a novella. From novella, we come to a novel. A novel is a bit long, yeah, having 19 chapters. So the first thing that we look at is the author, the writer. Blossoms of Savannah was written by a Maasai known as Okello. Okello is a very profound writer who has received accolade here in this country, born in 1946. Yeah, and from my study and my analysis, he has written almost 8 books. So it's not something very easy. So this is one of the books that he has written and has been recognized. So there in the examination, you're not going to be asked much about the writer. No one will ask you about the writer. But it is very important, yeah, for knowledge purposes, for you to know who wrote the book. So it is Henry Okello. Henry Okello brings out, in most of the books that he writes, he brings out the environment, the aspect, and the culture of the Maasai people. So even in this book, Henry Okello makes us discover the Maasai culture, the kind of environment that the Maasai live in, yeah? The aspect, their traditions, their norms, their belief, their way of life of the Maasai people. So that is about the writer. So I will not talk much about the writer. If you want to know more about the writer, you can Google Henry Okello. They are giving the biography, yeah, of Henry Okello in short. Setting, I go to setting of the book. Now the setting of this book, I say setting is the origin or background information. Obviously the setting of this book, and when we talk about setting, we divide it into 2. There is the setting, overall setting of the book, which is Maasai land in Kenya. And there is the setting where we'll be mentioning places in the book. Yeah, like Nasila, yeah, when we get in. Like Esoit, yeah, we shall be mentioning places when we get there. But the overall setting of the book, it is from Maasai. So that is why you expect to come across a lot of local dialect of the Maasai language. Like Intoyene Mengalana, you'll come across very many. Yeah, so many. Entagoroi, so many. You'll come across. If you open the back of the book, there's a glossary which will make you understand the meaning of each and every local dialect. So the local dialect that is used here is Maasai, because the setting of the book is from Maasai. And it is written by a Maasai. And one of the things that I remember telling you about the local dialect is that the local dialect is used so that we can identify the tradition of these people. Go back the book, you'll see Doi, Eitu Aikata Dol, Elangata, Elangatare, Entapai, Entagoroi, Entasat, Entomono. It is written and the meaning is behind there. So I've talked about the author, I've talked about the setting of the book. Now I want to get deep into the book. Why did Henry Okello decide to write The Blossoms of Savannah? Before you sit down to write any book, there must be something pushing you. There must be something that you want to bring forward. And what Henry Okello wanted to bring forward, we will know it based on the title of the book and the cover page. Yeah, so after the setting, we will look at the title of the book and the cover page. What did Henry Okello want to bring forward? Why choose the title Blossoms of Savannah? And why these drawings on the cover page? So, after I explain the meaning of the title and also the cover page, then you'll come to realize what information did Henry Okello want to bring forward. Blossoms means to grow, or blossoms means the state of flowering. I'm now dealing with the title relevance, how the title relates to the story, because every book has got a title. There's a reason as to why they call it the pearl. There's a reason as to why they call it the inheritance. There is a reason as to why they call it the doll's house. There must be a reason. So why blossom means to grow, or blossoms also means the state of flowering. If you look at the cover page, the state of flowering or to grow, yeah, growing, growth. That is why you can look at somebody or a lady, for example, and you say that that lady has blossomed, meaning that that lady has grown. That's another word. So blossom also means the state of flowering. Now, if you look at the cover page of your book very well, if you're having the novel, you realize that down there are flowers which are growing down there, where it is greenish. Nimesema the state of flowering. You will see that there are some flowers which are growing. I will tell you the significance of that. Why is it that there are flowers there that are growing? Now, the other word that you want to look at is Savannah. Now, those of you who have studied a lot, you know the features that you expect in a savanna kind of climate. Now, if you look at the drawing here and we connect to the word savanna, we realize that we say savanna has got the following features. Number one, it is a mixture of woodland and grassland. Now that one is evident from the cover page, because if you look at down here, we are seeing grassland, and on this other side we are seeing woodland. That's one. Another factor that you want to consider why the word savanna was used by Henry Okello. In a savanna, you find that the trees are not together, meaning the trees don't form a canopy. A canopy is something like an umbrella. So you find that there is no shade. The trees that are found there are evenly distributed, yeah, which means that there is direct penetration of sunlight, and that's why you see that there is the sunlight from the horizon. Yeah, expect this area to be dry. But one of the things that you need to know, in such an area presented here, it is dry. The trees don't form a canopy. You expect that the flowers are not going to be able to survive, because there is direct penetration of light. The place is rather dry, so the area is not conducive for the growth of these flowers. But despite all this, one thing that you have to note is that the flowers are still blossoming. Now listen, now let me get down to business. This word blossom, who are the ones who are blossoming in the blossoms of Savannah? There are two girls. We have got Taio and you have got Resian. And you are going to see them when we start the synopsis. They are blossoming. We are going to see from the start of their life in Nakuru, after their father is retrenched, who was working in the Agribics Limited, and they moved to Nasila, and their life and the challenges they go through due to their status of Intoyene Mengalana, you will see that there is some growth that is taking place, and thus the word blossom. So kiulizwa, what the word blossom, what does it symbolize? You will say that it symbolizes Resian and Tayo, the two girls who go through a lot of challenges, but luckily they make it, because they say determination knows nobody. Why Savannah? The Savannah symbolizes what? We have seen that the Savannah is rather dry. We have seen that the trees are evenly distributed. We have seen that the trees don't form a canopy, there is no shade. So it is difficult for the flowers to grow. So the flowers that are blossoming, I've said it is Tayo and Resian. So Savannah symbolizes the culture of the Maasai people. A culture that they don't understand very well, because these are people that have been following the modernization while they were in Nakuru. So they are not used to this culture of the Maasai people. And one thing that they find it difficult when they go to Nasila to follow this culture, just like the flowers that are growing inside the savannah, find it's very difficult for the flowers to blossom or grow because of the way the area is. It's the same way that Taio and Resian, I'm now analyzing the symbolic meaning of the cover page and the title, is the same way that Taio and Resian find it very difficult to survive in Nasila after they relocate from Nakuru to Nasila, like we shall see. So if you ask the blossom, say the blossom and the flowers growing symbolizes Taio and Resian, and then Savannah symbolizes the culture of the Maasai people, that they find it difficult. And you're going to see that the major things that are bringing a problem, number one to them, is that they are not circumcised. A girl who is not circumcised in Maasai culture is not given respect and cannot be married. They are called Intoyene Mengalan. Another culture that they find difficult is early marriage. And we shall see that when we talk about Resian and the rich, famous, and arrogant Edward Olosudori. long here. So I think I've explained the cover page. That I think is enough, has given you a proper. So what was pushing Henry Ole Colette, before I go to the synopsis of the book and the 4 chapters, is that Henry Ole Colette was trying to bring out the culture of the Maasai people, specifically early marriage and female circumcision. And if you look at the entire book, Henry Ole Colette has not supported any side. Henry Ole Colette has not said that we should follow or we should not follow. No. Henry Ole Colette is in support of both sides, not biased, gives you the mandate or the opportunity. After analyzing the book, you choose for yourself which one is better. Should the practices continue or they should come to a stop? So we will go now to the synopsis of the book. What is synopsis? And students have said this, to make things easy, because this book is very long, it has got 19 chapters, I will be giving synopsis of the first 4 chapters. The next time I'll go to another 4. So the first 4 chapters, I will thoroughly analyze. I'll be talking about the themes of the 4 chapters. I'll talk about character and characterization of the 4 chapters. I'll talk about features of style of the 4 chapters. And I will also, the first 4 chapters, before I continue the 5th chapter, we look at the themes in these first 4 chapters. We look at character and the characterization in these first 4 chapters. Then we look at language and style in these first 4 chapters before I give you questions again in those first 4 chapters. So we move systematically so that by the end of the, we are not in a hurry, they say slow but sure, so that by the time we finish the 19 chapters, you have a clear picture of the book. You have a clear picture of the plot summary. You have a clear picture of the features of style. You have a clear picture of character and characterization. And you have a clear picture of language and style. You have also a clear picture of the questions within that area. So because they end it there, and God bless you.